This video is brought to you by Stock Market College. The state-owned companies of South Africa are depleting the national budget, and the data supporting this claim are startling. Taxpayers have invested 456.5 billion rands over the previous 9 fiscal years to ensure the continued existence of these troubled companies. According to the National Treasury, this number is anticipated to skyrocket to 520.6 billion rand by the end of March next year. Due to the strain of this financial situation, many South Africans are questioning how long the government can continue granting these bailouts. There is no denying the adverse impact on the economy. To successfully fund these enormous assistance packages, the government has been compelled to raise its borrowing and reduce expenditures on other vital budget items. The effect has been felt across the board, including in infrastructure development, healthcare, and other public services, which has raised significant worries for the future of the nation's economic and social well-being. The troubled power provider, Eskom, is expected to receive an astounding 496 billion rand by the end of this fiscal year, making it the biggest beneficiary of these bailouts. Nevertheless, despite this enormous assistance, Eskom continues to suffer from localized load reduction and operational inefficiencies. Other state-owned enterprises, such as South African Airways and the South African National Roads Agency, have also benefited from these bailouts. SAA has received 49 billion rand in bailouts, while SANRAL has received 47 billion rands. Over the previous year, the state-owned logistics company Transnet requested an extra 61 billion rand to continue its efforts to preserve its essential infrastructure. So, in this video, we will dissect the awful truth about South Africa's state-owned corporations and the enormous financial burden they have placed on the nation. We will investigate which state-owned enterprises are accountable for most of this debt, and how these bailouts are being paid via increasing borrowing and cutbacks to critical services. New opportunities constantly emerge for prepared individuals as the economic landscape shifts. Whether it's changes in commodity prices, currency fluctuations, or emerging market trends, understanding these shifts can set you on the path to financial success. To truly capitalize on these opportunities, having the right knowledge and skills is essential. That's where our partners at Stock Market College come in. With over 23 years of experience in trading services and education, Stock Market College has been empowering individuals like you to control their financial future. Their comprehensive courses provide the strategies and insights you need to navigate the market with confidence. And here's the best part: thanks to our partnership, I've secured a special 20% discount for all my viewers. Just head to their website, use the link in the description, and apply the code AFRONATIVE20 to claim your discount. State-owned companies have long been a drag on South Africa's economy, and nowhere is this more evident than with Eskom, which has absorbed most of the bailout money. Eskom has collected a remarkable 496 billion rand, and this sum is expected to climb by the end of the fiscal year. Despite this massive financial assistance, the corporation remains in serious difficulties. For millions of South Africans, Eskom's struggle to deliver a consistent electrical supply is a daily reality, and frequent load shedding has been a serious concern for years. Despite recent attempts to cease load shedding, the firm still deals with load reductions in several sections of the nation. This implies that, although big cities may have fewer blackouts, smaller townships and rural regions continue to face erratic power supplies. Construction delays, cost overruns, and technical concerns have plagued the power company's efforts to install new power plants like Medupi and Kasile to alleviate the energy shortfall. The government has also worked to diversify South Africa's energy mix by investing in renewable energy projects like wind and solar farms and encouraging the private sector to participate in power production. However, these initiatives have been sluggish in taking effect, and Eskom's persistent dependence on coal-fired power facilities has prompted worries about the country's capacity to achieve its climate pledges. Meanwhile, Eskom depends on enormous bailouts to remain afloat, with little hope that the company's fortunes will improve shortly. South African Airways is another state-owned enterprise that has lost billions of rands in public funds with no indications of recovery. Despite receiving a sizable 49 billion rand bailout, SAA has failed to return to the skies in any significant sense. After going into financial rescue in 2019, the airline cancelled several international and regional flights, cutting its fleet and workers to remain alive. While the government is confident that the partial privatization agreement with the Takatso consortium would help bring the airline back, many observers are doubtful. SAA's restricted flight operations and fleet size make it unable to compete with more prominent international airlines, and its dependency on government bailouts has damaged public confidence. The airline's survival depends on whether the Takatso consortium can bring in the required finance and skills to reinvigorate the company, but progress has been sluggish so far. The South African National Roads Agency, which maintains the country's road infrastructure, has also received 47 billion rands in bailouts. SANRAL's problems originate mostly from the failure of Gauteng's contentious e-tolling system, which was designed to support road maintenance and improvements. Political pressure and widespread public opposition to the e-tolls rendered the system inefficient, forcing the government to close the budget deficit through bailouts. Last year, Transnet, the state-owned logistics company in charge of rail, ports and pipelines, sought a 61 billion rands bailout to cover operating gaps and meet critical repair requirements. Transnet has encountered several obstacles in recent years, including corruption scandals, operational inefficiencies and infrastructure in severe need of repair. In late 2023, allegations of incompetence and corruption led to the departure of Transnet's CEO, further exacerbating the company's issues. Transnet's failure to successfully operate South Africa's ports and railroads has substantially impacted the country's export industries, notably mining and agriculture. While South Africa's bailout measures have mostly benefited Eskom, SAA, SANRAL and Transnet, inefficiencies, corruption and financial mismanagement continue to plague other struggling state-owned enterprises like the South African Broadcasting Corporation, the South African Post Office and Denel, adding to the more significant challenge of keeping these companies afloat through taxpayer-funded bailouts. The SABC, South Africa's state broadcaster, has suffered for years due to dwindling income, operational inefficiencies and governance difficulties. The broadcaster has received repeated government bailouts to assist in paying operating expenses and averting job losses, the most recent being 3.2 billion rand. Several issues, including decreased advertising income, aging infrastructure and inadequate management, contribute to the SABC's financial woes. Despite receiving bailouts, the SABC persists in operating at a deficit due to its highly inefficient TV license collection strategy. In a digital era when many South Africans consume material via streaming services, the SABC has failed to innovate and adapt to shifting media consumption trends. Furthermore, repeated leadership changes and political meddling have destabilized the institution, making it impossible for the SABC to adopt long-term financial stability policies. The South African Post Office is another state-owned enterprise in constant decline despite receiving billions in bailouts. SEPO, which previously played an important part in South Africa's communications infrastructure, has lost importance with the growth of digital communication and private courier businesses. Over the past 10 years, SEPO has struggled with operational inefficiencies, outdated infrastructure, and severe corruption, nearly leading to its collapse. SEPO has been unable to upgrade its services or compete with private sector firms such as DHL, FedEx, and local couriers, which have taken much of its market share. SEPO condition is so grave that the corporation stated in 2023 that it would close over 300 branches nationwide for cost-cutting efforts. These closures have considerably affected rural areas, which depend on the post office for essential services like social aid payments. In conclusion, South Africa's SOE dilemma extends beyond Eskom, SAA, SANRAL and Transnet. A number of other state-owned organizations, including the SABC, SEPO, Denel, PRASA and Alexcor, have all received repeated bailouts, with little to no improvement in their financial or operational performance. The cumulative drain of these SOEs on the national budget has become a significant burden for South Africa, compelling the government to make tough choices between sustaining failing businesses and investing in important public services. Thank you so much for watching. We hope that this in-depth look at South Africa's state-owned company dilemma has shed some light on the magnitude of the difficulties these firms face, as well as the economic consequences. If you found this video useful, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with our latest content. We would love to hear your comments, so please leave a comment below. We appreciate your support and look forward to seeing you in the future video.